Hey y'all. So I wanted to come on real quick to give y'all a little update about my pregnancy journey. I don't know why this truck would park in the middle of, that's okay. Today was one of those days. You ever had days where you know things are happening, but today, like, it'll be something where reality really set in. So we did my ultrasound the last time I was at my doctor's appointment, but Serenity Grace had her hand over her face the whole time, so we didn't get any face pictures. They wanted to make sure she didn't have cleft lip and all that stuff. So today I went back and did an ultrasound, the 3D ultrasound, and my glucose testing, which the glucose testing was not as nasty. It was like Gatorade. It was different than what I had with my boys, because the first sip of it made me want to gag. But today it was really good. I had the orange. It was smooth. It wasn't as thick like it used to be. And I downed that thing with no problem. But doing the ultrasound, so at first, she's a little stubborn little girl. We had to shake her up. She did not want to move. She's sitting on my pelvic, which I'm having real bad pelvic pains. It's like no joke, especially at night. And so at first the lady was like, I don't know if we're gonna get any pictures again today, because she is not letting moving her hand off her face. Like, it was like she knew we was looking at her, and intentionally was putting her hand on her face. So I said, Serenity, I done had to talk with this little girl. I talks to her. I was like, please act right for these people in this doctor's office today. Like, don't give these people a hard time. So I'm in the office. I'm like, all right, Serenity, come on. I tell her after we done, we're going to eat. I said, please don't give this lady a hard time. So she told me to lay on my side. We juggling my stomach, making her move. She took her hand down. And the lady was like, oh, look. She put her hand right back up. Like, the lady was like, oh, she's doing that on purpose. I was like, oh, Serenity, like, come on, girl. Come on, Serenity Grace. Like, you got to get it together. So eventually eventually she did move her hands. And we saw her face, and y'all, it was the most precious, I'm not gonna cry, the most precious thing, just looking at her. Like, she kept yarning, like she was tired. Like, y'all leave me alone, she was tired. She kept yarning, and in the pictures you could see her yarning, like her mouth is open. You could see her nose. She got her nose like her daddy. You could see her head, her socket, like you could see her. And I'm looking at this little girl on this ultrasound, and I am so amazed and how God moves and how God works. I am so in awe of this process, y'all. Y'all have no idea. It feels like my first time being pregnant. Like, this is the experience that I'm having with this little girl, and I'm looking at her, and reality just set in. Like, man, I'm but to have my little girl. And I remember back in 2018, God showed me a vision of a little girl, prettiest little girl in the world. And this is the time, Jeremiah born 2017, so I think it was 2017. It was during the time I was pregnant with Jeremiah. And this pretty little girl. So initially I thought Jeremiah was a boy, and then when I had that dream, I was like, okay, maybe he's a girl. And then God gave me the name Serenity Grace, and that was 2017, y'all. It's now 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 6 years later. And the manifestation is about to be here. I prayed for this little girl. I fasted for this little girl. I cried for this little girl. I sowed for this little girl. I wept for this little girl. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot. And to see this little girl on this ultrasound, y'all, it took my breath away. Like, it literally took my breath away. I'll never be able to find the exact words, but that's all that comes to mind. Is like, she literally took my breath away. Like, I love this little girl so much, and I don't even know her. My boys are excited. They talk to my belly, to watch her kick. Even seeing the pictures, they was like, oh, look at her mouth. That's the first thing they noticed. Oh, look at her mouth, because it's obvious, like, her mouth, she is yarding. I have never seen a baby yard on the ultrasound. It was the cutest little thing, y'all. My heart exploded into a million pieces. And it's so much I want to teach her. It's so much I am going to teach her. So much I want her to learn from me. I'm glad that I went on a healing journey. Because the old me wouldn't have been prepared for a little girl. I think I would have did more damage emotionally than if she came earlier. I see why she had to come now after I went through this healing journey, and it's still things that I'm walking through. But I see why the timing was so perfect on now. Because there's things that I healed from that I never want her to go through. Her or any of my kids. I'm breaking generational curses. I'm breaking the backs off the enemies. I'm doing what I need to do on my part, so my kids won't experience them same demons. My kids won't experience them same generational things. My kids won't experience those things. Let me go through that first. Let me walk through them hard places first. Let me tear down the devils first. And then, so my kids would not have to. And let me heal first so you can get the best version of me, so you don't get the broken version of me. You don't get the broken little girl that's trying to raise a little girl. You get the healed woman in me, that now I can heal. I can help you and raise you in a healthy place, and not from a broken place. And I felt like had she come earlier, she wouldn't have got the healed version of her mama that she needed. And even with my boys, now they have things where they're realizing and picking up on stuff. I'm glad that now they are able to see the healed version of their mom. And the enemy tried it, y'all, because even during our process with this pregnancy, everybody know, like, I'm so excited to be pregnant, enjoyed it. But there was a couple of months where I just felt off. Like, I didn't want to talk to nobody. I described it as, I told my friend Jazz, I was like, I described it as a dark cloud. Like, it was just a dark cloud hovering over me. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to do nothing. Like, it knows me, I have to at least laugh at least once a day. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to laugh. I didn't want to do nothing. And I was like, it just felt off. Like, I didn't want to be bothered. I just didn't want to do nothing. When it came to praying, I was like, I felt like God's hands wasn't on me. I just felt dark. Like, that's the best. Like, a dark cloud was over me. And when I was speaking to my spiritual mama, she was telling me that the enemy wants to send the spirit of depression over you. Ooh, so that, excuse me, y'all, so you wouldn't be able to enjoy your pregnancy. And I never experienced depression, so although I was describing what was going on to me, it didn't click that that's what it was. Until I had a conversation with her, and that thing made me so mad, because the enemy does not play fair, never have and never will. And the fact that you took something or attempted to take joy away from a special moment in my life, it got me pissed. It got me angry, and I was a little upset about myself. Like, why didn't I catch on to that's what the enemy was doing? But he's so clever at times I didn't. But I know now. And once I start doing that, then it was on from there. Like, I went head to head, battle to battle, toe for toe. with the enemy, because I refused to allow him to rob this moment away from me. He knew he can't take my baby. He already tried. It's in the beginning of the pregnancy where I thought I was, but the miscarriage, I lose my baby again. So you already tried that. God won't allow you to even put your hands on my baby. So now you got to do what's next. Now you will try to take the joy from me experiencing this great moment and event in my life. But the devil is a liar, and I'm so glad I'm surrounded by prayer warriors and people that can pull me out and recognize and call that thing the way that it is, because it saved me. And now, you know what they say, devil, you should have taken me out, because now I got a fire like no other. And it just really touched my heart. Like, just really melt my heart today, y'all. And so I may or may not post the ultrasound. Not really sure yet. Like I said, she won't be a social media baby. I don't want people to feel like they obligated to see pictures and stuff of her, and things like that. But definitely taking y'all on a journey so y'all can see what God is doing, has done, and will continue to do. Don't lose the faith. Keep the faith, even when it looks like all hope is gone. Keep the faith. Keep pushing. Keep striving. Keep going. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Hope you have a good day. Bye.